To solve and check for extraneous solutions with radicals, first thing to do is get the radical by itself. So we're going to divide by 4. So we get the cube root of x minus 5 equals 5. We now need to get rid of the cube root. In order to get rid of the cube root, we are going to cube both sides. So the cube root and cube cancel. We are left with x minus 5. 5 cubed is 125. Move the 5 to the other side and we get x equals 130. However, we are not done. Due to the method of solving, we always have to check our answers. So, to check our answers, we go back to the original problem. We are going to take our 130 and plug it in place of the x. So we have 4 cube root of 130 minus 5, and we ask ourselves, does that equal 20? When we check, we have to work down the left side by itself and the right side by itself. Now we're in luck because the right side is already simplified, and all we have to work with is the left side. So we have 4 cube root of 130 minus 5 is 125. 4, the cube root of 125 is 5. Bring down the right side. 4 times 5 is 20. So does 20 equal 20? Last time I checked, that does in fact work. So our answer to our original problem is x equals 130. Number 13. We have to, again, isolate the root, remembering anything to the 1/2 or a fraction is a root. So this still is work the same way we were working the previous problem number 12. So move the 3 to the other side. We get 3x plus 5 to the 1/2 equals 7. To get rid of a power of a half, we square it. So now the half and square cancel. We are left with 3x plus 5 equals 49. Subtract 5 from both sides, so we get 3x equals 44. Divide by 3, and we have x equals 44/3. Again, we cannot say that is our answer until we check that answer. So, we are going to check 44/3 in our original problem. So, 3 times 44/3 plus 5, all of that to the 1/2 minus 3, does that equal 4? 3 times 44/3 is 44. (44 plus 5 is 49. (49 to the 1/2 is really the square root of 49, which is 7. (7 minus 3 is 4. Does 4 equal 4? And yes, it does. So our answer of x equals 44/3 is correct. Number 14. We need to, there we go, sorry about that. We need to get rid of this square root. So to get rid of square roots, we are going to square both sides. We have to put the left side in parentheses since it is actually a binomial. Squaring this is a perfect square, so we square the x's, multiply together and double, square the 4, That is now expanded. Square root and square cancel, so we're left with 2x. Move the 2x to the other side. So we've got x squared minus 10x plus 16 equals 0. We move that because this looks like a quadratic. And in order to solve quadratics, one side has to equal 0. So now we need to solve this quadratic. We can factor this quadratic into x minus 2 and x minus 8. So what are the factors of positive 16 that add up to negative 10? And you should be answering negative 2 and 8. Setting this equal to 0, we get a 0 of 2. Setting this factor equal to 0, we get 8. So now we have 2 solutions to check. So first, checking if 2 is actual solution, take our 2 and plug it back in the original. So we have 2 minus 4. Does that equal the square root of 2 times 2? 2 minus 4 is negative 2. The square root, 2 times 2 is 4. So negative 2, does that equal 2? Which hopefully everyone agrees, negative 2 does not equal 2. So we come back up here and we cross off our 2 as a possible answer. We now need to check 8. So we take 8, plug it back into the original. So 8 minus 4, does that equal the square root of 2 times 8? 8 minus 4 is 4. Does that equal the square root of 16? The square root of 16 is 4. So does 4 equal 4? Yes, it does. So 8 is a solution. X equals 8 is our solution. This means 2 is an extraneous solution. Number 15. Which x value makes this equation true? So we can solve to see. So we have 9x minus 7 to the 4/3 power equals 9. First, I'm going to get rid of the 9 because this is really a root of 3. I divide by 9, I get x minus 7 to the 4/3 equals 1. To get rid of that 4/3, a power, if I multiply it, I want to multiply it to get it to be 1. So to get 1, I would have to multiply by its reciprocal, 3/4. If I do it over here, I have to do it over there. Now, I get x minus 7, 1. The 4th root of 1 is 1. 1 cubed is 1. Add 7 to both sides. So x equals 8. Now, we do need to check that. However, since we only have one solution, it's pretty likely that it's correct because none of these say no solution. But let's go ahead and check that anyways. So we're going to check 8 and see if it works. Again, we go back to the original. So 9, parenthesis, 8 minus 7 to the 4/3. Does that equal 9? Again, we can only simplify on the left side and only simplify on the right side. No moving stuff back and forth. So we have 9. 8 minus 7 is 1. And we're asking, does it equal 9? 1 to the 4th is 1. The cube root of 1 is 1. So I have 9 times 1. Does that equal 9? 9 times 1 is 9. So this checks out. And 8 is a solution.